I'm really primarily a trader, a price action guy, and a market performance junkie. So that's the way I approach these markets. And the fundamental and the backdrop stuff is just stuff that's nice to know. But when I look at, for example, copper, kind of the chart tells the whole story to me, where we were pushing 10, 11K when the electric vehicle story was the biggest story on the internet. When Joe Biden was, starting up fleets of government vehicles that were going to be electric, and everything was in the headlines, and Tesla was the story every day, right? That was the story of copper at LME 10K, looking like it's about to break out of historic levels and maybe making a little headway. And then we ran into this whole, the whole commodity slide where the central banks attacked inflation, copper backed off, right? But the thing that you have in your pocket as a copper bull, number one, is that, as we've said, the transition to electronic vehicles is going to require massive amounts of copper, and inventories are very low. And the copper producers at firms like Freeport-McMoRan are looking around saying, I don't know where the copper is going to come from for all this energy transition. So that's one thing to consider, that the demand story is there. And then you look at the chart and see that LME copper held 7K at the lows. And that was basically the highs of 2017, 2018. And when we broke through that price in 2020, everything went berserk in copper up to the new highs. So, the fact that it went to 11K with all of that Tesla electronic vehicle stuff in the headlines and then backed off to 7K, the old highs, completely fits the narrative to me once central banks start attacking inflation. So, you can kind of do that overlay in price action in terms of tactically how the commodities behaved across all of them. Even though the charts look a little bit different across aluminum and zinc and nickel and things like that, they all have their own little nuance. But that's kind of how I'm looking at the base metals markets.